But the point really is to think about it ahead of time. You're not going to be able to come up with good ideas when there's a fire approaching your house.
I'm recalling the lake fires, I think that was last summer, when I saw people who were just really hesitant to leave their homes. And then I even saw some homeowners trying to extinguish the fire on their own with the garden hose. Your thoughts on that?
Last year I was on the Butte Fire. I was up there with a strike team. And the problem that we have is when people are asked to leave a neighborhood and they want to stay behind and protect their home, those decisions are typically made when the conditions around their home are okay. The fire hasn't reached them there yet. And that oftentimes will change when the fire front gets there and the person then wants to evacuate. The problem is it may be too dangerous for us to even be able to operate in that area at all. So we always encourage people to really listen to the evacuation orders, to leave the area when suggested, and we will do our best to protect your homes with the resources that we have. But having a life safety issue by having a resident remain behind means that you recognize we may not be able to come back and help you when conditions worsen.
Mm-hmm. So to be, just to recap, you want people to have an evacuation in mind, maybe a couple of ways.
Multiple routes to leave your house.
That includes the house, and that includes your area around you, the streets.
Correct.
And how will we know that a fire is dangerously close? What kind of alerts again?
Well, really for the short term, depending on how close you are to the beginning of the fire, there may be no warning at all. If we have the opportunity, we will always try to notify ahead of the fire front. So you
Good evening. Thank you so much. Well, we have a packed house tonight. It's so nice to see everyone, so thank you for joining us. I will now call to order the City of San Carlos City Council successor agency to the Redevelopment Agency Housing Authority regular meeting. It is December 12th. We will now please rise and join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, we'll move on to item 3, changes to the order of the agenda. Any changes from staff this evening?
Nothing from staff this evening, Madam Mayor.
Thank you. Any changes from my colleagues? Okay, seeing none, we will move on to item 4, council communications and announcements. Council communications and announcements are brief items from members of the City Council regarding upcoming events in the community and correspondence that they have received. Any council communications this evening? Councilmember Dugan.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Mayor. I just want to give a shout out to Park and Rec for another fantastic event. Amy and team, the Winterfest. Once again, Laurel was packed and everyone was happy, and a good cheer was had by all. Thank you.
I second that. Thank you, Councilmember Dugan. Any other announcements this evening? Okay, seeing none, we will now move on to public comment. Persons wishing to address the City Council on matters not on the posted agenda may do so at this time. Please know that each speaker is limited to 2 minutes. First, we will take public comment again for items not on the agenda. We'll go to Zoom first, Crystal, and then to in person, please.
There are no hands raised on Zoom, but we do have a public comment for someone in the chambers.
Okay.
Laura Borm, if you can approach the podium, please.
Good evening, Honorable Mayor and members of the Council. My name is Lauren Borrow, and I'm a member of the Board of HIP Housing. For over 50 years, HIP Housing has improved the lives of people in San Mateo County by providing creative housing solutions to the most vulnerable. As a symbol of our appreciation, I'm very excited to present this year's 2023 HIP Housing Calendar. The calendar features a drawing of home from 12 young artists selected from over 200 entries submitted by children in kindergarten through the 5th grades throughout the county, along with a quote of what home means to them. On behalf of HIP Housing, I would like to thank the city for its long-standing support of our affordable housing programs. We have been so fortunate to receive grants from the city since 1995, including $20,000 last year. Each year, we house over 1,200 people in San Mateo County, thanks to our strong partnership with local governments. I'm sure many of you are familiar with our programs. Our home sharing program helps match people who have space in their home to share with people who are looking for an affordable place to live. This past year, we supported 420 new and existing home sharing matches, 8 from San Carlos. I'm especially proud of our self-sufficiency program, which provides housing assistance and trauma-informed case management to low-income parents and emancipated foster youth. During the year, 49 families, including 60 adults and 77 children, were provided support through this program. 7 of these families are from San Carlos. I also wanted to share that nearly 700 people live in properties that we either own or manage, including 26 individuals living right here on Cedar and Cherry Streets. I hope that this calendar provides a continual reminder of the importance of a safe and stable home, particularly in a region that is so defined by housing challenges. I'd like to introduce you to Claire Shang, a first grader from San Carlos who's participating via Zoom. She's this year's winner of the calendar contest, and her beautiful artwork is here on the cover. I think she's a little bit under the weather today, so she's not going to be participating via Zoom, but I would like to read to you her quote. "Home is where we live, laugh, love, and dream. It is the safest heaven and most comfortable zone on planet Earth where we can be ourselves, even just be silly." So thank you very much for letting me present to you today. And these are for you.
Thank you, Lauren. And what was the name of the first grader who?
Claire Shank.
Claire. Okay, so I want to give a shout out to Claire at home this evening too. Congratulations. And thank you to HIP for all that you do in our communities here. Any comments from the council? Councilmember Collins?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Thank you, Lauren. It was a great presentation. As an alum of the HIP Housing Board for about 9 years, it's a great organization, and they've done a lot of great things in San Carlos and in San Mateo County. So I want to thank you again, and again, extend my thanks to Kate Comfort-Har for her help and work in getting our new Cherry Street project off the ground. So it's greatly appreciated. Thanks very much.
Thanks, Ron.
Through the chair, we do have a hand up on Zoom now. If we can go ahead and take that. Oh, I'm sorry, looks like she just lowered her hand. So we're okay, thank you.
Okay, great. Okay, so with no further public comment, we will move on to the consent calendar. Do any of my colleagues wish to pull an item from the consent calendar? Okay, seeing none, I'll entertain a motion.
Move to approve the consent calendar, items A through D.
I'll second that.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, Crystal, could you please call the roll?
Okay, Councilmember Collins?
Yes.
Councilmember Dugan?
Yes.
Councilmember Palmer Lohan?
Yes.
Vice Mayor Rack?
Yes.
And Mayor McDowell?
Yes. Thank you, Crystal. Okay, we will now move on to item 7, new business. Consideration of adopting a resolution accepting the certificate of the Chief Elections Officer and the statement of votes cast in the consolidated general municipal election held November 8th, 2022, and declaring the results. And Crystal, you'll be giving us a presentation.
Yes, I will. Good evening, Mayor and City Council members. Crystal Moy, your City Clerk. A general municipal election was held in San Carlos on Tuesday, November 8th, 2022, for the purpose of electing 3 new council members for a full term of 4 years. The results of the election for the office of City Council, as reported by San Mateo County's Chief Elections Officer, Mark Church, are as follows. John Durkin with 4,293 votes, Adam Rack, 8,543 votes, Pranita Venkatesh, 6,491 votes, Sarah McDowell, 9,510 votes, and Alexander E. Kent, 2,256 votes. So Sarah McDowell, Adam Rack, and Pranita Venkatesh received the highest number of votes for the office of the City Council and are therefore elected to that office for a term of 4 years. It is recommended that the City Council now adopt a resolution to accept the certificates of the Chief Elections Officer and the statement of votes. Thank you.
Thank you, Crystal. Any questions for Crystal or discussion points? Okay, no, do we have any public comment, Crystal?
Too many screens. No, there are no hands up. Thank you.
Okay, and no public comment in person on that item, so I will entertain a motion.
Madam Mayor, I move to adopt Resolution 2022-120, a resolution of the City Council of the City of San Carlos accepting the certificate of the Chief Elections Officer and the statement of votes cast in the consolidated general municipal election held on November 8th, 2022, and declaring the results.
I'll second.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, Crystal, could you please call the roll?
Vice Mayor Rack?
Yes.
Councilmember Collins?
Yes.
Councilmember Dugan?
Yes.
Councilmember Palmer Lohan?
Yes.
And Mayor McDowell?
Yes. Okay, thank you, everyone. We will now move on to item 8, reorganization. Presentation to retiring council member Laura Palmer Lohan. And tonight we're going to start with some proclamations that are going to be presented, first from Brian Perkins on behalf of Congresswoman Jackie Speier. Then we'll move on to Joan Dentler and then Bray Hunter.
Good evening, Madam Mayor and members of the council. I'm Brian Perkins with Congresswoman Jackie Speier's office, and the Congresswoman has entered a statement into the congressional record in recognition of Councilmember Palmer Lohan's extraordinary service. It details her history on the council, in fact, her personal history as well. At this point, I'll skip most of that and just read you the final paragraph. And it says, Madam Speaker, John Denver, oh, this refers to the fact that she was born in West Virginia. I have to put this into context. Madam Speaker, John Denver memorably described Laura's birthplace, West Virginia, as almost heaven. We shouldn't put Laura on the spot to compare San Carlos to the Blue Ridge Mountains, but we're thankful that she and her family settled on Howard Avenue rather than on the banks of the Shenandoah River. Denver also sang that life is old in West Virginia. Proudly, San Carlos is quite young and vibrant. This also describes the spirit of Laura Palmer Lohan. She's a public servant who in 2018 signed up for a volunteer job on a few nights a month. She ended up doing enormous overtime in defense of our lives and the welfare for 4 eventful years. Job well done. Congresswoman Jackie Speier, congratulations.
We will now move on to Joan Dentler on behalf of Senator Becker and Assemblymember Mullen.
Good evening. Thank you, Madam Mayor, City Council, and Laura. Senator Becker and Assemblymember/Congressman Kevin Mullen asked me to be here this evening because they could not, but they wanted me to be sure to thank you for all of the work that you've done, particularly your time as mayor during the pandemic. And like Congresswoman Spears, Representative Brian Perkins, I will not read this entire legislative resolution, but I will read the highlights at the very end of the resolution. Whereas a fine example of a public-spirited resident willing to assume the responsibilities of leadership, Laura Palmer Lohan is genuinely respected, admired, and appreciated by all who have had the opportunity to know and work with her and to reap the benefits of her exceptional devotion to making a difference in the San Carlos community. Now, therefore, be it resolved by Senator Josh Becker and Assemblymember Kevin Mullen that they take great pleasure in commending the Honorable Laura Palmer Lohan for the leadership she provided as a member of the San Carlos City Council, recognize her for her exemplary record of achievements in business and community service, and express their sincere best wishes for her continued success in the years to come. Signed, Honorable Josh Becker and Honorable Kevin Mullen.
Thank you, Joan. We will now move on to Bray Hunter, who I believe is joining us via Zoom. Crystal, is that correct?
Correct. Bray, if you can go ahead and turn on your video. There you go.
Hi, can you all hear me?
Yes, thank you, Bray.
Perfect. I am Bray. I'm a legislative aide for Supervisor Horsley, District 3 Supervisor, and I also won't read the entirety of the resolution, but just pull out some of the highlights. So on December 6th, the Board of Supervisors resolved to honor and commend Laura Palmer Lohan for service to the City of San Carlos. Whereas Laura Palmer Lohan protected the health and safety of residents by establishing regulations for the sale of firearms and ammunition and the operation of indoor shooting ranges, banning smoking in multifamily housing and the sale of e-cigarettes and flavored tobacco, and approved numerous traffic calming and pedestrian enhancement projects, including safe routes to schools and the San Carlos Avenue Pedestrian Improvement Project. And whereas Laura Palmer Lohan took steps to ease the housing crisis by investing city resources in the affordable housing projects at Walnut Street and Cherry Street. And whereas Laura Palmer Lohan has consistently shown true dedication to the well-being of her constituency and care for her community throughout her time on the City Council. And I know Supervisor Horsley has been very appreciative of all the times he has gotten to interact with you. And I also personally have gotten to know you a bit over the last year. And I just want to say thank you so much for all you have done to serve your community. And I believe the hard copy of the resolution is there with you.
Thank you, Bray, and thank you to Supervisor Horsley. Greatly appreciated.
Thank you, Bray, for joining us. Now it's my turn, and I'm going to come down here and talk to you eye to eye, so give me a second. So Laura, I'm very honored to present this to you tonight. And I'm going to read the whole thing because it's mayor's prerogative. So, whereas Laura Palmer Lohan was elected to the San Carlos City Council in November of 2018, after having served on the city's Single-Family Housing Advisory Committee and led the council with distinction as mayor in 2021. And whereas during her tenure on the City Council, Laura Palmer Lohan worked tirelessly to ensure the health and safety of the community through numerous initiatives, including banning smoking in multifamily housing and the sale of e-cigarettes and flavored tobacco, establishing regulations for the sale of firearms and ammunition, approving numerous traffic calming and pedestrian enhancement projects, investing in a new Fire Station 16, and during her mayoralty, leading the city with steadfast commitment through the impacts of the COVID-19 pandemic. Whereas Laura Palmer Lohan's dedication to the betterment of her community led to expanded public events in San Carlos, including Pride celebrations, and ensuring that Hometown Days, the Art and Wine Fair, and the Day of Service continue to benefit the community and strengthen its spirit of inclusivity. Additionally, after her year-long effort on the San Carlos Age-Friendly Task Force, the City of San Carlos was recognized by the World Health Organization as a welcoming community for people of all ages. And whereas in her capacity as a city council member, Laura Palmer Lohan represented the city on numerous boards and regional joint powers authorities, including Peninsula Clean Energy JPA Board, Home for All, City and County Association of Governments of San Mateo County, and Association of Bay Area Governments General Assembly, to name but a few. And whereas while on the council, Laura Palmer Lohan always prioritized the community's best interest in making each and every decision, which engendered widespread respect from her colleagues and high regard among staff and other leaders in the community. Now, therefore, be it proclaimed that I, Sarah McDowell, Mayor of the City of San Carlos, on behalf of the entire City Council and the San Carlos community, hereby commend and express sincere appreciation to Laura Palmer Lohan for her dedicated and distinguished service to the San Carlos community and her many accomplishments on the City Council. This proclamation is presented with the good wishes of every member of the City Council of the City of San Carlos, presented this 12th day of December, 2022.
Thank you.
A real mic drop.
Laura, we have more gifts. I'm really excited to give you your own gavel now. There you go.
Beautiful. Awesome. Does it work?
You can try it out at home.
It is stuck on there.
Oh. Kathy, I'd like to present you with these flowers to say thank you for sharing Laura with us. I know that having a spouse on City Council is also a sacrifice on the rest of the family, and you have supported her, and that has helped us do our job. So I want to thank you too.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Okay, so we're going to take comments from the council now, then we're going to do public comment, and then we're going to hear from Councilmember Palmer Lohan. Does that sound okay? Okay. So comments from the council. Councilmember Collins.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Laura's just been a terrific council member. She's always kept in mind that her job was to represent all the citizens, all the residents of San Carlos. I'm going to miss her thoughtful comments during our meetings that were based on doing her homework, which means studying her packet, talking to staff, meeting with residents, and considering the impacts of our decisions. Laura embodies what it means to be a public servant, and that quality seems to be fading in this new era of district elections and personal agendas. Laura, I wish you well in the future. Your family has a lot to be proud of, and thank you so much for the privilege it has been to serve with you on this council.
We'll go to Councilmember Dugan.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and thank you, Laura. Truly an honor to serve alongside you on behalf of San Carlos. I've learned a lot coming on to the council and watching your commitment to represent and serve all of San Carlos. That's been inspiring. And boy, Laura, you really put in the work. I mean, like Ron said, I mean, you're always very well prepared. You've met with the community, you've discussed things with staff, and you come in and you've got just a real grasp of everything. And it's just been really nice to work with that level of professionalism. Your leadership as mayor during the pandemic was also very, very strong, and just thank you for your service to our fair city.
Thanks, John. Vice Mayor Rack.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. Laura, we joined the council together 4 years ago, and we came in sort of with a new majority, I guess, to bring lots of change. And a lot was accomplished over those 4 years and to make this community better. I appreciate your leadership as mayor during a challenging time at the height of the pandemic to ensure our residents and businesses had the support of the city. I appreciate your dedication to San Carlos, your passion, and your willingness to lead us to be a stronger, more inclusive community. You have much to be proud of during your time on the council, and I've enjoyed the opportunity to serve with you. I wish you the best of luck in your future endeavors, and thank you for your service to San Carlos as a council member.
So Laura, I got to put a lot of my feelings into the proclamation for you, but I did want to just close with saying, it has shown through in your work to our community and in this council that you have prioritized hearing from all voices. And that is a real legacy to leave in our work. And it's something that I deeply admire, just how welcoming and inclusive you have been of the entire community and wanting to make sure that everyone has their chance to be heard. And I hope to continue to live by that as we go forward. And your dedication to our community has just been so apparent, and we all thank you for that. Okay, so wonderful comments. We'll now move to public comment. We'll take public comments first via Zoom and then in person on this agenda item honoring Councilmember Laura Palmer Lohan. Is anyone on Zoom with their hand raised, Crystal?
I don't see any hands on Zoom, and I have not received any speaker cards.
Okay, thank you. I want to thank everyone again for the beautiful proclamations for Laura, and I'll turn it over to Councilmember Palmer Lohan.
Well, thank you so much, Mayor McDowell. I really appreciate it. And I just wanted to thank everybody for the warm regards. Very touching. I very much appreciate it, and it was very unexpected. So a nice surprise. I'll have to build an ADU so I can put them on the walls. We're out of wall space, so good thing we passed that ordinance. I appreciate the reflections of my colleagues. It means a lot. I was called to action by my kids because they were disappointed in how things were going and are very concerned about the environment and felt that our leaders really needed to listen to the community. And I couldn't ignore that call to action in 2016. So I leaned into that, and my offer has always been to the community to actively listen to you and incorporate your input into the decision-making, working with my colleagues on council, who all bring their own unique perspectives to the table. And for the benefit of the community, you get 5 perspectives, which I think is fabulous, especially at a local level like this. And then the staff has just been incredible with their expertise and commitment to carry out the decisions that we make, whether they're good or not. Usually good. I think we did it really well many, many times, and it wasn't always easy, for sure. And the purpose in my mind is this is tax revenue. These are your dollars, and it's important that what you get in return are practical results, and that those dollars are put to work for you. And I took that commitment very, very seriously. I wouldn't be here if it weren't for my family, Kathy, who you met earlier this evening. She's been amazing this whole time, and she gets to choose the next adventure. So we'll see what that is. And for our sons at home, Bradley and Gregory, I love you very much, and you inspire me each and every day. And I hope that I made all of you proud. I also want to thank the community for showing up and participating. When I ran for council, I heard a lot about people not knowing what was going on or feeling like their input wasn't important, and staff really innovated, I think, in so many great ways to get that community input. The Eastside Visioning Project, for example, to address the development that's coming to town, the commercial development, was an example of that. And through that process, we were able to really come together quickly on a planned development agreement just a few weeks ago. But it was all the hard work that went into that over the course of a year, and the thousands of data points and inputs that we received from the community. Housing, there's nothing that makes somebody feel like they belong in a community than that they have a place to go that's safe for them to put their head down at night and rest or be with their family. And I'm really appreciative of all the hard work that this council that we've done together to make that happen. Not only the Walnut and Cherry Street projects, but also the housing element, which is quite remarkable. And that's poised to bring even more community members who serve our community to be able to stay here, like teachers and firefighters and police. Childcare. Nothing that helps with economic recovery more than making sure that our parents can get back to the workplace. And I think, again, we've done some really amazing things on council with respect to childcare. And again, that was shown in that recent plan development agreement, and I'm really excited to see that we're making space for the smallest of our community members. The bike and pedestrian plan. Health matters, and being able to get around your city safely by foot or by bike is really important. We've adopted a really impressive bike and master ped plan that we've already started to implement, and I'm super excited about that. Safety and infrastructure, sewer and garbage, we need it. We did what we need to do there, and that's continuing to go. And I just want to thank everybody for the opportunity to be in this role. It was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, I think, and being the mayor was really, really fun. So if you've never been called mayor before, I highly recommend it. It was super, super fun and hard work, but worth it. And I just want to thank each and every one of you. You really made this an experience to remember for a lifetime. So thank you. Dinner will never be the same.
Thank you, Laura.
Thank you.
Lovely comments. Okay, we will now move on. Laura, you know what? I think we have one public comment for you, so if you want to hang tight. Can we take a public comment out of order, Crystal, please?
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I apologize. I was a couple minutes late for a city council meeting up in Burlingame. I'm Emily Beach. I'm a friend and a colleague of all of you, but just wanted to take a moment to thank Laura for your service. Your accomplishments are many as a council and as an individual. That's already been discussed tonight, but I'll just mention how you do it, how I've seen you operate, which is just with such sincerity, with earnestness, with being well prepared and being a great listener. And those are great qualities in a human being and an elected official. Proud to know you, proud to call you a friend. One comment to the great people of San Carlos. This is an amazing city council. Collegiality is something that doesn't happen everywhere to get great work done like this. Some councils do it better than others. I'm telling you, it takes every personality to work at that because sometimes the issues are complicated and tough. But you have a great thing going in San Carlos, and I congratulate all of you, and I understand you're going to have a great new colleague coming on board as well. Wish you all well. Thank you so much for your service, Laura. We'll miss you, but you have great things ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Emily, and thank you, Laura. Okay, we are now going to move on to item 8B, seat newly elected city council members. And the way we're going to do this is our city clerk is going to administer the oath to me, then Allison Rack will administer to Adam Rack, and then the city clerk will administer the oath to Pranita Venkatesh, and then we will all be seated. Well, we'll be seated after each one, actually, right? Yes. Yeah, okay. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to come up.
And if your family wants to join you at the podium, they're definitely welcome as well. That's perfect. Yep. If you can raise your right hand, please. Sarah McDowell, do you solemnly swear to support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that you will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California, that you take this obligation freely, without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that you will well and faithfully discharge the duties for which you're about to enter? Thank you. You can go ahead and sign right there. Thank you, and it's my honor to present to you the certificate of election from the county.
Okay, so now we will move on to Allison Rack administering the oath to Adam Rack.
And I know you have your daughters participating remotely, Jane and Phoebe. If you can go ahead and show your video. Thank you. There you go.
Adam Rack, do you solemnly swear to support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that you will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California, that you take this obligation freely, without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that you will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which you are about to enter?
I do.
All right. You may sign this. You're welcome. And
This too. Oh,
I
went
present
too soon, see?
to you this certificate.
Okay, now we will move on to the city clerk administering the oath to Pranita Venkatesh.
Right hand, please. Okay. Pranita, do you solemnly swear to support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies, foreign and domestic, that you will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California, that you take this obligation freely without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, that you will well and faithfully discharge the duties for which you're about to enter? I do. Thank you. Go ahead, sign. Oh, right there. Thank you. And again, my honor to present to you the certification. You're welcome.
Councilmember Venkatesh, you get to come join us. Okay. Well, welcome to the dais, Pranita. Thank you. It's good to have you up here. So now we're going to take public comments, then comments from the newly electeds, and then we'll do council comments from our colleagues. So public comments, now is the time to raise your hand by Zoom or submit a yellow slip to the city clerk. We'll go ahead and take Zoom comments first. Crystal, does anyone have their hands raised online?
No, there are no hands raised online.
Okay.
None in person.
None in person. Okay. All right. So we will now move to comments from the newly electeds. I will go last. So Vice Mayor, would you like to kick us off?
I would love to. Thank you. Great. Congratulations to Sarah McDowell and Councilmember Pranita Venkatesh. I will like getting used to saying that. On your election, I look forward to serving with both of you over the next 4 years. I'm truly honored to be reelected to the City Council. Thank you to the people of San Carlos for your vote and support. Thank you to my amazing and beautiful wife, Allison, and my 3 rock star daughters, Phoebe, Jane, and Lydia. I'm grateful for your love and support. This has been and remains a Team RAC effort. I want to thank my parents, John and Monica Rack, who are here from Connecticut, for instilling in me the importance of community service. Thank you to my in-laws, John and Nina Clinton, for your support throughout the campaign and always. And then I want to thank Kate Wormington, Susan Raymond, Jill Reineman, and Karen Molinari for all your hard work during the election. And a special shout out to my neighbor, Diana Gendati, who dropped off my favorite See's peanut butter brittle several times throughout the campaign to help me get through. I am still trying to get through all the peanut brittle. I'm humbled by the many San Carlins who gave their time and resources to support this campaign. Thank you also to John Durkin and Alex Camp for running this year. It's beneficial for all of us to have a competitive campaign, and we are fortunate to live in a community where people are willing to step up and put themselves out there to serve. We have a very busy time ahead, and I'm excited to work with all of you, my fellow council members, and city staff to tackle the challenges and seize the opportunities ahead. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Mayor. Councilmember Venkatesh, would you like to make some remarks?
Sure. Okay.
San Carlos, you elected a woman to the council, so thank you for your votes tonight, and to all the voters who supported me. I want to first thank my parents. My dad, who struggled to come to the USA and make a living, and Dad, you made to be very successful, but you stayed humble, so I thank you for that. Mom, you gave me some tough love. And for that, I will always say thank you. Your resilience has taught me so much. You always said, you know, when life throws you some down curves, hold your head up high and face the world. So thank you for your resilience. So if I have my dad's homeless and my mom's resilience, I hope that will serve me well. To my family, Dean, thank you for supporting us, making dinners, taking care of the kids when I was out canvassing. I had the straightest signs in San Carlos thanks to Dean. Every time you see a crooked sign, he'd get out of the car and make it straight. For Devin, you're the bravest boy I know, and you gave me the courage to always do my best. Rhea, thank you for always telling everyone to vote for me. If it was Burlingame or Millbrae or Milpitas, she was telling everyone vote for my mom. So thank you. Uncle Bobby, he was the first one to support my campaign, and he's here from Fairfield. My Uncle Lechman, who followed my campaign more than I did. To my brother-in-law, Perry, who knew exactly which signs to put where because he knew everyone in San Carlos. To my Uncle Vidya, who's not here today, but I know he's thinking of us wherever he is. And sorry, but I have a lot to say. Laura Tuchel, wave your hand. Laura Tuchel, she helped me win this campaign. She would message me at 6 in the morning and say, get your bottom up ASAP. Do this ASAP. Your opponents are beating you. Move it ASAP. So thank you, Laura. Ray Mueller, I supported you. You supported me, and you won District 3. So thank you. Salash, who's not here tonight, and DEDAC, thank you. Jessica and Matt Ava, Jeanette Collins, and Andy Klein. He was one of my first supporters, and he called me after the first results, and he's like, Pranita, congratulations. I'm like, no, they're not in yet. Like, I'm not sure I won. And then 2 days later, he called me, and like, I'm still waiting for all the results. He's like, Pranita, you got this. So thank you for always watching my back. To my Indian community, Pooja, Purnima, Shruti, and Shruti. All you ladies for your support and encouragement. They're ready to pass out samosas and cha at the Laurel Street as soon as they found out I was running. But so thank you for all the encouragement. I forgot, to my Paragon family. I can't find Linda Shu, you canvassed more than I did. She would say, I'm done with 1,000 door hangers, give me 1,000 more. And I was working and taking care of the kids, and she was my little cheerleader. And Sophia, one of my youngest supporters, and Andrew and Nora and all my kids at Paragon, you guys kissed my signs and hung them up, and thank you. To my fellow council members, Ron, John, thank you for endorsing me, supporting me, and telling me when to vote for me. My motto at one point was, we're number 3, because we knew Sarah and Adam would win. And so we're like, we're number 3. Thank you. Sarah, I'll be calling to see which outfit you're wearing to which event. And Adam, thank you for the warm welcome. And I can't wait when, after I won, Senator Becker emailed me, and he said, let's get good things done. So I'm so excited to get good things done with all of you. So thank you for the warm welcome. And I have one quote by Ruth Bader Ginsburg, and it says, fight for the things you care about, but do it in a way that will lead others to join you. And I can't wait to be your voice.
Pranita, you're just fitting right in. You've got all your talking points. Very well prepared, so that's great. I'm going to make some brief remarks as well. I'm going to start with Pranita and just say that tonight is a really special moment for San Carlos, and I think it's important to pause and reflect on how meaningful it is for our community to have elected our first woman of color to our city council. San Carlos is a welcoming and inclusive community, and I'm thrilled that the composition of our city council is finally starting to reflect that. Pranita, I want to thank you for being brave and stepping up to run for public office. As a mom, I know the amount of sacrifice that it takes, and I am thrilled to have you join our council, and I know that with the 5 of us working together, we are going to accomplish a lot over the next 4 years. So welcome, and thank you for joining us. Adam, I'm thrilled to continue serving with you too, and I have some more remarks that I'm going to have for you later. And then finally, on a personal note, I want to thank the voters of San Carlos for putting your trust in me. I want to thank my family who is here. I want to thank you for all of your support. There is a toll that this office takes on the entire family, and I want to thank my husband, Greg, and my kids, Ryan and Leah. My in-laws are here tonight, Vicki and Kevin, and all of my family watching at home. I want to thank you for your grace and your support and your love. And no one can run for office alone, as Pranita well laid out in her remarks. So I do also want to thank my all-volunteer campaign team. Megan Miller was our fearless treasurer, Jackie King was our volunteer coordinator, and Andy Klein, who is here tonight, was our campaign manager. And the 3 of you worked so very hard, and I appreciate your friendship and all of your support. So with that, thank you again, and I will open it up now to comments from our other council colleagues. Councilmember Collins.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. I'm going to save my comments for you and Adam for later. So just for a moment, focus on our newest council member. I think it goes without saying, running for office is hard. Pranita came to me, I think about 9 months ago, and said she was going to run for council. And I said, why? And she told me. And we had a good meeting, and I was impressed with her immediately. My only regret is that I didn't endorse her sooner because I waited. I thought it was fair to wait until I talked to all the candidates. None of the other candidates called me, except the 2 that are sitting next to me now. And Pranita listened, you know. I mean, I don't know everything, but I told her there's some things that you should do and some things that you shouldn't do. And she talked to the right people. She had Laura Tuchel working with her, whose advice I trust. She had Andy working with her, whose advice I also trust. And she knows an incredible number of people in town, but that's not enough. It's not enough to know a lot of people in town. You have to get out and give them a reason to vote for you. And she did that. She did the work, and I think she's going to be an outstanding council member. So congratulations again.
Councilmember Dugan.
Thank you, Madam Mayor, and yeah, welcome, Pranita. Very excited to be serving alongside you. It's a long road to get through an election, and Pranita sure put the work in. And you know, my favorite memory is that long afternoon we spent knocking on doors up and down San Carlos Avenue. And you know, you learn a lot about someone when you have that many great conversations in town with so many different people. And Pranita cares. She engages. She wants to hear from everybody. And I too thank the wisdom of the San Carlin voter to finding a great new council member to join us. And I too am thankful that it's a woman of color. And I think that's a great milestone for town. So welcome, Pranita. Great.
think this brings us now to item 8C, call for nominations for the new mayor and vice mayor. But first, I'm going to make some outgoing mayoral remarks, my last remarks as mayor here. It has truly been a great honor to serve as mayor, especially this year. This year, we cut the ribbon on 817 Walnut, our first 100% affordable housing project in over a decade. We celebrated the Adult Community Center's 40th anniversary with some of the finest members of our community. We enjoyed the return of Hometown Days and the Art and Wine Fair, and new this year, the city brought under its events umbrella the Day of Service, which is one of my personal favorites. It's near and dear to my heart, which brings the community together for one day doing acts of service throughout the community, like school cleanup projects and planting trees. Pernita came out and planted trees in the park with me, and many other service opportunities. We also kicked off our 2-year downtown planning process to reimagine the future of Laurel Street, and this was met with a groundswell of community interest and participation. As a parent, I am proud of the work we accomplished on behalf of children and families. Diaper changing stations are now installed in our women's, family, and men's bathrooms in several of our city-owned buildings and parks, because everyone changes diapers, not just moms. We reduced speed limits around our schools this fall to enhance our safe routes to school. New batting cages and lights were added to our parks, and our council continued its focus on childcare issues, including implementing a childcare impact fee, which will be charged on new commercial developments going forward. And these funds will be used to build new childcare facilities, ideally located in some of the new commercial buildings. At the beginning of my term, I announced that I would co-lead the San Mateo County Mayor's Mental Health Initiative. And tonight, I'd just like to briefly highlight a few of our accomplishments over the last year. We rolled out mental health first aid trainings in cities thanks to funding from the Board of Supervisors, 2 of which happened right here in San Carlos. We successfully launched countywide campaigns for May Mental Health Awareness Month and September Suicide Prevention Month. We secured $250,000 in grant funding from the Chan Zuckerberg Initiative for Star Vista, One Life Counseling Center, and the Daly City Youth Health Center. These grants will improve staff recruitment and retention, expand access to free and reduced mental health care services, and deliver services in Spanish, and allow for mental health days for mental health workers to prevent burnout. And in San Carlos, we published a comprehensive mental health community resource guide mailed to all residents in May, and also this is also found on our website. And we lit up City Hall in green. We issued proclamations recognizing the great work of Star Vista and One Life Counseling Center. 16 mayors signed on to our initiative, and it has been an incredible experience to work with so many dedicated leaders in San Mateo County on an issue that directly impacts our residents. And I know that our efforts have made a difference in our communities. And none of these accomplishments that I highlighted tonight could have been realized without all of the hard work happening every day by our city staff. The people who work for our city are incredibly dedicated to serving the community, and we really have them to thank for how well our city operates and responds to the needs of our residents. I also want to thank my colleagues on the council. I am so proud of the way we work together to serve our community. And I especially want to thank Vice Mayor Rack, who has picked up a lot of extra jobs this year as Vice Mayor. I have appreciated our collaboration on many issues, but I am especially proud of our recent work together in partnership with Cora to address domestic violence in our community. And to our community, I want to say thank you for the opportunity to serve you as a council member and mayor. It has been a remarkable experience, and I look forward to continuing to serve San Carlos in the years ahead. Thank you. Councilmember Collins. I see your hand. Okay. Oh, you're ready. Okay. So now I will call for nominations for mayor.
Madam Mayor, I will nominate Adam Rack to be our next mayor.
I'll second that.
Okay, and then, do we take public comments on that?
Yes.
Yes, okay. So I will open it up to public comments now.
There are no hands for public comment for this item.
Okay. With that, I will call for a vote.
Councilmember Dugan.
Yes.
Councilmember Venkatesh.
I was told to say no at my first meeting, but I heartily say yes.
Councilmember Collins.
Yes.
Vice Mayor Rack.
Yes.
And Mayor McDowell.
Yes. With that, congratulations, Mayor.
Yes, and Lydia Rack has the honor to swear you in, and I'm going to pull up Jane and Phoebe, if you can share your screens again.
Oh, is that what they're on?
Okay. Adam Rack, raise your right hand, sorry. Adam Rack for the office of Mayor of San Carlos. Do solemnly swear to support and defend the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California against all enemies, foreign and domestic. That you will bear true faith and allegiance to the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of California. That you take this obligation freely, without any mental reservation or purpose of evasion, and that you will well and faithfully discharge the duties upon which you are about to enter.
I do.
Sign here.
We're roomies now.
That's right. Immediately becomes mayor. All right.
Okay, so I think we're going to start with, first of all, thanks, everyone. I will give some comments and will offer any comments from council members. All right, I have a lot to say here. So. Okay. First, I'm honored and humbled to serve as your mayor of San Carlos this year. Thank you to my colleagues for their confidence in me. Thank you to former Mayor McDowell for her leadership over the last year on mental health issues and so many others, guiding this council and serving our city. And I did want to thank you. We've had some great partnerships together, particularly around domestic violence and helping to take some positive steps to try to prevent domestic violence in this community. And I'm not letting you off the hook on that one. We're going to keep working on that one. So. 2023 will be a busy year for San Carlos. We're experiencing significant change. We've been discovered by the life sciences industry. More development and economic growth lie ahead. As we face these growing pains and opportunities together, I'm grateful to work with a strong staff and a city council dedicated to improving our community. Of course, with change comes opportunity. The development expected in East San Carlos will transform that area for decades. It'll also bring significant funding through development fees and commercial property taxes, which will support affordable housing, childcare, our schools and parks, and additional improved services and benefits to our community. We're moving forward with our downtown specific plan to update Laurel Street and the surrounding area, working with our downtown advisory committee comprised of residences and businesses. We are planning a future downtown that is even more vibrant, with additional community space and a mix of retail and restaurants that create a hub for all of us to enjoy. Closing parts of Laurel allowed us to see some of the possibilities that are achievable, and we will now take the steps for more permanent changes. You can learn more about the downtown specific plan online, which includes an interactive map where you can share ideas, and I can encourage everyone to do that. The council passed a bike and pedestrian master plan with significant community input. We're now implementing that plan to create a more bike and pedestrian accessible infrastructure. We're investing important resources to upgrade our roads and sidewalks. And as an example, we're adding sidewalks on San Carlos Avenue to make it easier and safer to walk downtown and for students to walk to school. I feel very fortunate to live in San Carlos, to work and raise our family here. With so much change, it's easy to focus on all the growth. But we must also remember to invest in what makes San Carlos a great place to play. As mayor, I'm committed to ensuring that we do just that by focusing on investment in our parks and our recreation programs. We should also look at opportunities to expand and improve our park infrastructure to increase access to fields and courts. We have wonderful open spaces in San Carlos and nearby places like Pulgas Ridge. Adding more trails and increasing access to open space should be a priority. I look forward to reaching out to the community to understand your ideas for more recreational opportunities throughout San Carlos. Our entire community benefits when we work together. Over the next several months, I plan to meet with residents in their neighborhoods, attend meetings of service organizations like the Rotary, Lions Club, and Kiwanis, and connect with businesses throughout San Carlos. I would love to meet with all of you and your neighbors, so invite me. We have a bright future ahead of us. And by working together over the next several years, we can ensure that San Carlos remains a great place to live, work, and play. Now, I will take any council comments. And I'm going to have to get used to this machine, Ron, so give me a second here. Councilmember Collins.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I have to get used to Mr. Mayor now. I'm going to handle my comments for both Sarah and Adam at once because they kind of go hand in hand. But before I talk a little bit about Sarah, I want to say something that a lot of people don't get. A lot of people don't understand how mayors in small towns like ours are chosen. Many think they have to run for the position and get elected by the public. Now, that is the case in just 2 cities in our county, San Bruno and now Belmont. In every other city, including ours, it is one's fellow council members that choose the next mayor. And even though there's a traditional rotation and there's some unwritten rules, becoming mayor, just because it's your turn, is not automatic. And we have seen the results of that nearby recently. The mayor is the face of the city, and you only get chosen if you've earned 2 things: trust and respect from your fellow council members. And there are a few times in our recent history where that hasn't happened in San Carlos. Sarah earned my trust and respect from the moment she joined this council 4 years ago. I've never failed to be impressed by her compassion, her work ethic, her preparedness for every meeting. And you know, I didn't put this, I should have put this in here, and she's stubborn too. But in a good way. She doesn't let loose of those issues that she cares about. And all of us should be that way. Voting for her this past year was the easiest vote I ever made, and she handled the job with grace and professionalism. So Sarah, thank you for being the face of our town this last year, and you made us all look good. All right. Adam, many of the things I said about Sarah do apply to him. He's not quite as stubborn. But he has earned the opportunity to be our next mayor. During the pandemic, Adam and I partnered on the downtown subcommittee to work with the business community through all the issues regarding the closure of Laurel Street. And there were a lot. And it really was sort of a trial by fire. And Adam just jumped right in, and he worked hard to help the business community navigate all the changes rather, that were happening. Those included sometimes meeting with some disgruntled business owners on Saturday mornings or Saturday afternoons. But as I said, trust and respect are earned, and Adam, you've earned it, and you have some big shoes to fill, but I have no doubt you'll be up to the task. Just don't wear heels, okay?
No worries about that. Thank you, Ron. Councilmember Dugan.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor, and I too will speak to Sarah and Adam now. And yeah, boy, Sarah, what an amazing year as mayor. When you did your recap there, I knew we had a busy year, but I was like, wow, we all that. It was quite a list, and it just kept coming. So impressive, your work ethic and the way you're in the community, the way that you were the mayor of San Carlos. I mean, everyone knew you were there, knew that you cared, and then you brought leadership to two issues that I know you're just deep in your heart, with the mental health and that initiative you started with, getting 16 other cities rallied around that, a countywide effort. Very impressive, very impactful, and it was a year that needed mental health focus in a lot of ways in our community. So that really mattered. And then childcare. I think we'll look back and realize that childcare linkage fee is going to be incredibly impactful at helping solve that real issue in town, and that was really something you'd pushed for a long time. So thank you for that. Yeah, it was just fantastic watching you, and frankly intimidating. I'm like, my gosh, if I'm ever mayor, I don't know if I can work as hard as Sarah did the last year. So thank you for that. Adam, yeah, great to have you in the seat. You've, I've learned a lot from you. I still remember when I kind of like Laura 2016 rolled around, I'm like, I got to figure out a way to get involved. And Adam was the first, really about the only person I knew involved that I reached out to. And through some of his help, I found my way into the Planning Commission. And you've just been an inspiration throughout. You go all the way back to the school board, et cetera. And just so deep in the community. And it's the heart that you bring. And yeah, like Sarah did that recap, and you just laid out everything we have in front of us. So it really is, these are really impactful years for San Carlos, and I'm excited to work with you as mayor, and it's going to be a great year. Thank you.
Thank you, John. Councilmember McDowell.
Thank you, Mayor. I just want to welcome you and thank you for stepping into this position of mayorship. I'm excited to pass the baton to you, and you've shown tremendous leadership over the last 4 years, and really working hard on so many issues that are important to the community, and I know you're going to do a great job, so I'm excited for you. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. Any other comments? Good. Okay. All right. So now we'll move on to the next agenda item, 8C, which is the call for nominations for vice mayor. So would anyone like to nominate for vice mayor?
Mr. Mayor, I enthusiastically move to nominate Ron Collins as the City of San Carlos vice mayor.
We do not need a second for that, so I will move to public comments. Crystal, are there any public comments online or in person?
So we do, give me a second here. We don't have any hands on Zoom, but we do have 3 speaker slips for in person.
Okay.
We'll start with Charles Stone.
All right. Councilmember Stone.
Good evening. My name is Charles Dunn. For about 24 more hours, I am a council member from the great city of Belmont, where, as Mayor Rack often reminds us, we don't have a vibrant downtown. But I will point out we love our residents enough to let them talk for 3 minutes at meetings. Not saying you should have a problem with that, but if you do, there's the mayor. In all seriousness, I'm going to do a few things. I want to thank, we waited till the end to do this because we wanted to comment on every item, and I didn't think he wanted to listen to us that many times. But first of all, a hearty thank you to Councilmember Laura Palmer Lohan for her great service. It was a pleasure working with you on things like Peninsula Clean Energy in the beginning, and I'm very grateful your family gets you back now, because I know firsthand how trying that can be, especially when your spouse is also involved in doing good for the community. I actually was in that situation, and I remember deciding that one of us had to back down because there was no way we were going to be able to run a household and do both of those things. So the fact that you folks have done that is quite amazing and a testament to your strength. Mayor McDowell, and I'm calling you Mayor McDowell because, as I was taught after I was mayor the first time, once a mayor, always a mayor. So enjoy that privilege. Thank you for your tremendous leadership over the last year, a very trying year, coming out of the pandemic, trying to figure out what the new normal is. Sarah is the very rare case of somebody who is here only to do the work, which is amazing, and I mean that in the most complimentary way. There is no agenda, there is no worry about anything else other than what's best for the people of San Carlos and the people of San Mateo County. Councilmember Venkatesh, welcome. You're so lucky to get to work with such a great council, and it's so nice to see a woman of color up there on this dais at last. I wish you the best. And Ron, just saying hi to make sure you're paying attention, that's all. Finally, in my remaining seconds, which
I'll grant you another minute. I'll be like Belmont.
I was just going to say,
I can be like Belmont for this one time.
Yeah, I appreciate that. My friend Adam, I wish you the best in your year as mayor. If you find yourself wondering why you agreed to do it, that means you're doing it right. So keep pressing on, and in your moments of frustration and anger, of which there will be many, I assure you, just remember the bald eagle we saw, and think of your patriotism and your call to duty, and you will be in a happier place immediately. Though I'll be departing the council, I'll always be around if you need anything. I am so impressed with this council, as Andy Klein can tell you. The relationship between Belmont and San Carlos was a little bit like the Hatfields and the McCoys at one time, not all that long ago, about a decade ago. And the fact that we are now not only collegial comrades, but all good friends, really speaks well to the quality and character of this council. And it's been an honor and a pleasure to work with you over these last years. So good luck, do good things.
Thank you, Charles.
And next up, we have Julia Mates.
All right. Mayor Mates.
Yes, thank you. Good evening. I've only been on the Belmont Council when Belmont and San Carlos have been like the Bradys. But I am here actually to thank former Councilmember Palmer Lohan for your service to your community as well as our region as we sat on regional boards together, like at PCE and our executive committee there. Best of luck to you, Laura. Congratulations to Councilmember Venkatesh. I look forward to working with you. And to my good friends, Sarah and Adam, congratulations on your reelection. And I'm glad the voters of San Carlos were wise enough to honor you both with a second term. Sarah, it was wonderful serving with you as mayors of our respective cities this past year. We were able to sit on panel discussions and work together on a few issues, and I truly enjoyed serving with you. Congratulations on a wonderful term as mayor. Adam, I look forward to serving as mayor with you this year, and I'm certain you will do amazing things in what I am certain will be an exciting year for our region. All the best to you, and congratulations.
The last card I have is Ray Mueller.
All right, Supervisor-elect Councilmember Mueller.
Oh, thank you. I wasn't going to say that, but I just wanted to stop by and offer my congratulations to former mayor or current mayor I don't know, I'm supposed to address you, but to Sarah. You had a home run year as mayor. Up and down the peninsula, people saw what you were doing and you made an impact in people's lives. And really, it's funny, I remember talking to you a couple years ago and saying, oh, you got to plan out your year as mayor. And you, wow, knocked it out. And the impact you made on mental health is going to be long lasting for generations to come. It really will. I really appreciate it. To Mayor Rack, I'm really looking forward to working with you. I'm really looking forward to see what you do and the impact you make. Listening to you talk about Parks and Rec. I'm really looking forward to see what you do here. I'm looking at Ron. I think Ron's thinking about a pool right now. So I think on the right next to you, the bar's pretty high. To Councilmember Venkatesh, you are fearless. Do not lose that. I remember when you reached out during the pandemic and you're trying to figure out ways that you could make an impact here in San Carlos to help kids during that time period. And I'm really looking forward to see what you do on the council. So it's been a pleasure to get to know you. And to former council member Palmer Lohan, you're going to be missed in this city, and I think you know that. This city loves you dearly, and I learned that this past year, and the impact that you made on regional boards like PCE is long-lasting. So I just want to wish you all the best and happy holidays. Looking forward to seeing you soon.
Thank you, Ray. All right, Krista, are there any more comments?
No, that was it.
Okay. So now that I managed to lose my paperwork, I think we're ready to call for a vote.
Okay. Councilmember McDowell?
Yes.
Councilmember Venkatesh?
Yes.
Councilmember Dugan?
Yes.
Councilmember Collins?
Yes.
And Mayor Rack?
Yes. All right. Congratulations, Ron.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right. So Vice Mayor Collins has decided he's just going to stay in his seat and not get sworn in.
Correct.
So, but he will sign the paperwork. We'll make sure of that.
Sign the paperwork.
So with that, I will turn it over to the Vice Mayor to make some comments.
Thank you, Adam. I didn't write down any comments because I consider my job to be supporting the mayor. And one of the nice things about not being the mayor or the vice mayor is that every time you get an email or a phone call or something and somebody says, why aren't you doing something about it? I can say, call the mayor. Or the mayor will answer that for me. But being vice mayor is a little bit different because, you know, my job is to support Adam. I think he's going to do a great job. As I said before, we worked on the downtown subcommittee together. He's very dedicated to this town, and that is something that you just don't walk on the become a member of the council and all of a sudden start caring. You have to care for a long time. He was on the school board, so you've been an elected official for quite a number of years now. And he understands how the town works. He's had a great teacher in Sarah before him and even Laura before her. So I'm looking forward to working with you, and I think we are also going to have a great year. We do have a lot of important projects that we're working on, and I think we'll do just fine. Thank you.
Thank you, Vice Mayor, and congratulations. All right. Do any of my colleagues want to make comments? All right. If not, I will. So, Ron, congratulations on your selection as Vice Mayor. I look forward to working with you over the next year and to help guide our city along the path ahead. Your long history in San Carlos is a true asset, and I'm sure that I will look for you to help and for your wisdom over the next 12 months, and you never know about that pool. All right. With that, that is all the agenda items. I will just see if there's any. We have agenda setting number 9. Any of my colleagues have any agenda items? Okay. With that, I'm going to adjourn. Thank you all for coming. They have some reception in the back if you'd like to stick around. But thank you all, and we will have a great holiday season, and we will see you in January.